Iowa's 2026 midterm election is shaping up to be one of the busiest in recent history.
Yeah, dozens of candidates are jumping into open races for governor, U.S. Senate, and Congress. KCCI chief political reporter Amanda Roker is taking a closer look at what's driving so many candidates to run and how the crowded fields could impact voters. Amanda.
Well, Ben and Stacey, there are a lot of candidates. Iowa's governor, one senator, and likely 2 members of Congress are not running for re-election. And it's rare in Iowa politics to see this many high-profile races wide open at the same time. Political strategists say that's fueling the unusually large number of candidates who are already vying for your vote.
Seats don't come open that often here in Iowa, as we've seen from Chuck Grassley, as we've seen from past governors.
Republican strategist Eric Wolfson says dozens of candidates see Iowa's 2026 races as their ticket to Washington. He also says hot-button issues are pushing even more people into the race.
Whether it's the eminent domain issue, whether it's people that feel strongly about President Trump or feel the other way about President Trump. There's a lot of strong emotions involved.
But crowded primaries bring challenges like splitting the vote. In Iowa, candidates have to earn at least 35% to win. If they don't, the race gets decided at a party convention.
When you have 4 or 5 candidates in a race, getting to that 35% can be really tough. One of the challenges is carving out the time to campaign and then carving out the time to really pay a lot of attention to those convention delegates.
Another challenge, fundraising. With so many big races on the ballot, money could be spread thin.
There's certainly going to be those annoying text messages and those urgent emails that everybody gets and drives them crazy. But I think at the end of the day, people are going to appreciate this opportunity for really competitive races around the state.
Despite the hurdles, Democratic strategist Matt Paul says contested primaries can ultimately make candidates stronger.
It makes their messages sharper. It helps with their fundraising skills. It helps build an organization. So I think the more the merrier in these races right now.
Although there are dozens running right now, KCCI political analyst Dennis Goldford warns if candidates can't secure support, crowded fields could thin out.
I would want to see at this point, we're in early September, let's see who's still in the race on New Year's Eve, because that could change.
And another challenge for candidates in these crowded primary races, standing out from opponents in their same party. Strategists say whether it's Republicans competing to be the strongest ally to President Trump or Democrats trying to prove that they can win, candidates will need to convince voters that they're the messenger worth paying attention to. Stacey?
Oh, we will stay tuned. This is going to be so interesting. Amanda, thank you.